Welcome to the Casual Plateau. I've got another game analysis for you today. This time I'm facing off against my friend Will and his Tau. Will is running the Experimental prototype Cadre, and I've posted both lists in the description of this video rather than posting the army lists on the screen, so you can check them out there. We're playing on Games Workshop terrain today. Mission A, which is taken hold on Tipping Point, and we're playing Games Workshop Layout 1. Straight into the deployments. My beast pack is in this space here, ready to scout into my safe triangle, or just scout straight forwards if I go first. My melee bricks and raiders are staged behind my big ruins in my deployment zone, and I have 2 squads of scourges being babysat by a Kronos on the left, 2 ravagers and a unit of incubi sit in deep strike. Will has infiltrated a unit of pathfinders here on Will's natural, alongside a squad of stealth suits. Some Kroot rampagers sit down at the bottom and near the centre ready to scout, alongside a couple of units of Kroot carnivores. A ghost keel infiltrates by his natural, and Will has a unit of crisis suits with missile pods in reserves. I end up going first, and we do our respective scout moves. My movement phase is quite quick. I draw secure no man's land and no prisoners, so my beast pack moves over to Will's safe triangle, ready to charge and start chewing up infantry. The mandrakes that I infiltrated inside my safe triangle move over to the middle, stringing out so only one touches the objective, and my Cabalite Field Venom moves over to touch my natural expansion, alongside a Kronos that has advanced. Davy Jones in his Venom stages in my triangle here, and I prepare Lelith's Raider or my 10-man Incubi brick to take that staging position next turn. Into the charge phase. My beast pack connects into a Kroot squad and some stealth suits, and Will uses heroic intervention to send the rampagers into the fray, but I send all my attacks into the Kroot carnivores and pick them up in the fight phase. I score my secure no man's land and get 2 points for no prisoners as I pass the turn. Will's first turn, he draws engage and secure no man's land, and his movement phase looks like this. Kroot carnivores string out, screening on both the left and the right side of the board. His flamer suits take position to overwatch the middle. Kroot rampagers on the left have advanced to put enough OC on my natural expansion. The stealth suits fall back from my beast pack. I've not given Will many shooting targets here, but in his fight phase the rampagers finish off the beast pack and consolidate onto the centre. Moving on to my second turn, Will puts me on a 5 on primary. I draw tempting target and establish locus, and I do have a couple of units available to do actions in the middle, but with the Tau taking so much of the board, I feel like clearing up the infantry is better than scoring this turn. Maybe that's not right. In my movement phase, I do this. Scourges jump out from their ruin, in the back corner to shoot at the flamer suits. Davy Jones disembarks and moves to charge the carnivores, hiding behind the wall to dodge an overwatch, and the Venom moves up too. Cabalites switch over to shoot at the carnivores on the other side, and the Kronos steps onto my natural expansion objective. At the end of my movement phase, I deep strike 2 Ravagers aiming to take down the rampagers on the objectives. Into my shooting phase, my first Scourge squad blow up the Flamer Crisis suits, but Will pops his lone operative stratagem so I can't target them. Davy's Lord of Deceit aura makes it cost him 2 command points though, and I switch targets to the rampagers and blow them up, which is great, but my second Scourge squad now has no targets to shoot at, so it's stuck in the open. The Ravager I deep strike into the room in my deployment zone takes shots at the rampagers on the middle and blows them up, and my Cabalites and the Venom take shot into the carnivores. Into the charge phase, Davy Jones' squad charge into the carnivores and I pick them up in the fight phase. I use Wraith-like Retreat to return them to their Venom. At the end of the turn, Will's Vespid returns to reserves to deep strike next turn. Will's next turn starts with him drawing Sabotage and Area Denial. His movement phase looks like this. His units all consolidate into this safe triangle here, with Pathfinders committing to a sabotage within the ruin. His Hammerhead moves up too. At the end of the movement phase, Will deep strikes his Vespid onto the centre, scoring him his Area Denial, and he also deep strikes a unit of Crisis suits near my natural expansion. I'll use Rapid Ingress here to drop a Venom full of Incubi to the right of centre behind this terrain. In the shooting phase, my Scourge that got stuck in the open last turn are taken out by the Crisis suits, and I believe some of the missile pod suits or whatever they were here split-fired into Davy Jones' Venom, but it survived on 2 wounds. So I move into my round 3 and score 10 on primary. I draw Marked for Death and engage on all fronts. Now after analysing the board state before I move any models, I recognise that I can't really play passively and trade over the mid-board at the moment and hold my natural for 10s. As Will's put me on a 5 early, I need to start putting Will on 5s for primary for at least 2 turns to stay in the game as I'm going first. So it's time to put my foot on the gas, and my movement phase looks like this. Davy Jones disembarks and moves over to take on the crisis suits by my natural. The Ravager stays in the ruin, and Scourges hop out on the left to support the Incubi. In the centre, I disembark my cabs, moving them up in front of the Vespid, but the crisis suits Overwatch cooks them. I move Lelith and her witches up in this raider to my opponent's natural, alongside the Incubi rapid ingress, all disembarking. The witches plan to charge the sabotaging Pathfinders after using Pounce on the Prey, and my Incubi plan on charging the Ghost Kill. The second raider full of Incubi advance moves to my safe triangle, and the Ravager moves off the footprint to screen my home objective. I also moved this Kronos to the left to keep it within 9 inches of the Scourge squad. In the shooting phase, my 2 Venoms shoot at the Vespid, clearing them off the table. My witches use grenades and their pistols to finish off the crew, and then I fire a few dark lances into the crisis suits and I take a couple down so Davy Jones has an easier time. Into the charge phase, my witches charge into the Pathfinders and into the stealth suits. Will uses heroic intervention on Farsight's unit, and they charge into the witches. My Incubi fail their rerollable 7-inch charges to the Ghost Kill though. Davy Jones makes it in. In the fight phase, Davy Jones picks up the entire crisis squad and the leader, and the witches take down the Pathfinders, while Lelith kills a unit of stealth suits on her own. Farsight's unit's clapback is surprisingly powerful however, only leaving me with a few witches left. So at the end of the fight phase, I use Wraithlight Retreat to get Davy Jones' squad back into their venom, and we head into the bottom of round 3. We've successfully put the Tau on 5 for primary, and Will draws overwhelming force and is keeping sabotage. Will's movement phase looks like this. His stealth suits on his home move just in front of his ruin to begin a sabotage, and his crisis suits move up. A Skyray and Hammerhead gunship push up the flanks too. Here I use Swooping Mockery to reactive move this Venom to safety. One of the red Melter crisis suits made it on top of this ruin after Will rode a big 6 on the advance roll, so he can still see down on top of this ruin. In the shooting phase, my Venom on the middle is picked up alongside the Kronos on my natural, and my Raider up top is blown up too, and all of the witches die to shooting from Farsight's unit. My Incubi on my opponent's natural are also shot to bits, leaving 1 Incubi on the Archon alive. Will makes no charges, and at the end of his turn I put my Mandrakes back into strategic reserves.
Into the 4th turn, and I score 5 on primary again. I draw extend battle lines and area denial for my secondaries. My movement phase looks like this. The 10-man Incubi brick and the Archon move up to the centre, then the Raider moves up to the middle objective as well. My Cabalites screening forwards, Ravagers poke out to shoot the Hammerhead. Davy Jones disembarks from behind the wall here, and his Venom and a squad of Scourges move up to touch my natural expansion. At the end of the movement phase, because Will's stealth suits moved up to sabotage, my Mandrakes are able to deep strike onto his home objective. My shooting phase is basically a whiff, and in my charge phase the big Incubi brick slams into the crisis suits, and Davy Jones and his remaining squad charges into the red suits as well. My Mandrakes at the back fail their charge into the stealth suits. In the fight phase, Lelith fights first, hurting the suits before being killed by Farsight. My big brick of Incubi bring down the crisis suits, but the missile suits on my natural have 4-up invuln, so Davy Jones' squad doesn't finish them off. At the end of the turn I use Wraithlight Retreat to get my 10 Incubi back in their Raider. I max out my secondaries here, and we move to the bottom of round 4. In Will's turn, he draws Mark for Death and Assassinate, and his movement phase looks like this. Not much of note apart from the Skyray moving up a little. Farsight's crew move into the centre. In the shooting phase, the Skyray takes out the Mandrakes and shoots the Raider, but it also takes Farsight's squad shooting to bring down the Raider. The Ghost Kill and Hammerhead finish off my Incubi and Archon over on my opponent's natural, and the Hammerhead big guns bring down a Ravager. Into Will's charge phase, Farsight's Crisis Suit squad charge into my Incubi, only killing 4 of them before getting demolished on the crackback. And at the end of Will's turn, he gets marked for death for 2 points off of my Mandrakes and scores Assassinate because he killed my Archon on his natural expansion. And I move to my last turn here and score 15, which swings the game completely. I go from it's so over to we're so back in an instant. My movement phase is pretty simple. Davy Jones's Venom moves to the centre and the Ravager moves to my natural, both of these committing to a cleanse. My Incubi brick in the middle move over to assault the Ghost Kill. My Scourges move back to get line of sight on the Hammerhead, and I pre-measure the back of the Ghost Kill's base and advance my Cabalites so he can't end his movement in this kind of area, so his Ghost Kill can't really touch the middle objective. My Scourges shoot at the Hammerhead and it fails 3 saves, and I roll enough damage on the dice to take it down, which gets me 3 for Overwhelming Force and 5 on Cleanse. Will's last turn is pretty minimal. His Ghost Kill has a few options. It could stay in combat, shoot and fight the Incubi and try to bring down their OC enough, but it can't fall back towards the middle because of my Cabalites. Will does have one play towards my natural where his Skyray could move up, shoot the Ravager, charge and tank shock it to steal the primary. But in the shooting phase, the Skyray doesn't bring down the Ravager, and in the charge phase, Will fails his first charge roll, and he can't re-roll it with command re-roll because of Davy Jones and his Aura of Deceit ability. So we end up pulling a win, clutch at the end here. Thanks to Will for the great game. He's a great player, we play a lot together. I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more of his Tau on the channel. Give us a like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you next time.